Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here with Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. She's in the house, and we are so excited talking about profits in daily,
Mhm.
bringing in what you need in order for your business to succeed. So we are excited about that. And Coach, we just want to thank you because every time you
Welcome.
come, we learn something new. So what do you have for us today, Coach?
So today we had talked about last month. We had talked a little bit about who you want to be and what you want to grow into,
Mm,
and we had a number two about listening but ignoring. We touch on that topic, and that topic is so important because we hear so
mm.
much is thrown at us, and because it's thrown at us, we think we have to keep it and collect it and till they do us part. No, it's not a marriage. You get it and you ignore it because it doesn't belong to you. And so that's
Ah,
what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about ignoring because it blocks your money, it blocks the clarity in your mind. It just it just takes you away from your purpose and what you're supposed to do when you start caring and taking away, the things that is not for you. So
mm.
we're going to talk about, you ever hear something but it's not for you, but you so want it before you that you find stories to support how you can use this information.
Ah.
We find stories because we're storytellers
Mhm.
naturally. Even if we don't think we can tell it to people, we tell ourselves great stories. So it support the stuff that has nothing to do for us. And number two, what to do with it, this information that is not of you, and who do you pass it on to if it'll
Oh.
be worthy of the person that you're passing it on to. And I'm
Mm.
going to give you a little story here with
Okay.
ignoring. When I first came to Canada, like I would listen to a lot of things. And I remember one day my mom saying to me, she's telling me a story that she heard. And I said to her, that has nothing to do with me or us. And she like, yes, but I was like, no, I can't listen. I can't hear you. Because it really was talking about what men should do and different things. I'm not a guy.
Mhm.
It had
Mhm.
nothing to do with me. I'm not being disrespectful to my mom, but could you imagine we were having this conversation for half an hour when I could either been put that time in that book, talk to her about something that's going to be beneficial to her or I or the family, and I get taken up with it. Or maybe I had a business thing that I needed to attend to and I didn't because I'm busy wallowing in something. Now, yes, I could listen and pass it on to my husband, but he has to want to hear this stuff.
Yes.
So why am I collecting stuff that he doesn't want to hear? Because I know he doesn't want to hear
Wow.
it.
You know, Coach, let me come up here for a minute. Hold on. That is so impactful. Why are we collecting things for people who don't want to hear it? If they want that information from us, they will seek it. And at that time, we can probably help them find, what is applicable. But why are we wasting time studying for somebody else?
Never works.
And
It
they have to take the tests.
it just never works. It never works. My grandmother was right. I didn't like to hear, but she'll say, whatever you go to school for, you're not doing it for me. You're doing it for yourself. So if you
Mhm.
didn't take it in, you wouldn't have it in. You're not taking it to give it to me. I finished school a long time ago. I don't
Mhm.
need this. I need something else, but I don't need this. So you're not doing it for me. You're doing it for yourself. And what you do now is going to last you forever because you have this one self until you die. And whether you like it or not, it's going to go with you. You're going to choose
Mm.
which one to bring to the forefront or keep in
Uh-huh.
the background. But it'll be there with you. And not kidding. It's there with you. So don't collect other people's stuff and also bring it along with you. Because the funny thing about real estate in our brain, it take the people's stuff and the things that's not for you will take a bigger chunk of your real estate versus the one that's for you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you can't build a website, but you're learning. All of a sudden, you're thinking it's so hard to build this website. That's because you got a lot of other people's stuff on your brain instead of building the website. And let me tell you
Ah,
about the stuff that you might want to hear. My children is doing X, Y, and Z. Now, it's not because you don't care for your kids, but the kid don't need you to take up that time at the moment. Here's a better way to helping your children. You sit them down, and if they're old enough, have the conversation. And if they're not old enough, have the conversation for their age. And if they're older, have the conversation in such a way that you're not talking at them. You're relating something that could help them as a friend would, as a teacher would, but
mm-hmm.
you are not telling me. First, you want to say, this is advice you can take or leave on the table. I am
Mm-hmm.
not meaning for it that you have to take it and use it. You took pressure off your kid right away. If it's your husband, the same thing. If it's your siblings, the same thing. You are not, even if you're in a position to do it, even if that's your title, like I'm a coach, but I don't coach any of my sisters unless they ask me.
Mm-hmm.
I have one sister that I coach, and she keep asking me to do the rest of them. And I said to her, I can't. They
People
didn't
have
ask.
to be willing to receive the messenger.
Yes. Yes. So when you collect people's stuff that is
Mm-hmm.
not for you and you use it, you're taking up real estate. You get confused. You don't understand what you're going to do with it. You think you
Mm-hmm.
will do something with it, but you're not going to because it's not for you. Leave it alone.
How do you know when it's for you?
So you have to set up the ground rules for yourself first. So
Mm-hmm.
we can talk about that for a second. You know, the things you want to do and the things you don't want to do. Later this month, I'll talk about those things. The things you know that you need to do. So if you're setting up a coaching practice, you need a website, you need a funnel, you need advertisement, no matter if it's paid or free. You need to talk to a lot of people. And when you have no clients, you need to practice your craft.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got your set hours for your company and your business. Why are you listening to somebody who says, I'm trying to find this plumber? No, you've gone looking for a plumber for them. It has nothing to do with your coaching. Why are you searching for a plumber? Now, I'm not saying you might need a plumber. Let's say you do need a plumber after work or before work. Don't get sidetracked. That's so simple. Don't get sidetracked. Well, coach, if I had to place it, turn off the main valve.
Mm-hmm.
If there's other people around, if you're in a condo, you get maintenance. If you need to make that call, you do it at your lunchtime. But what you're not going to do is call a friend who call another friend to get back to you about the cheapest plumber you can find.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're taking yourself away. That's just a regular maintenance home thing. Because people always, when I give them other scenarios, they'll say, well, this was emergency.
Yes.
911. Okay. If you wake up and your house is flooded, I'm not saying go to work. I say call the plumber and look after that. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're shopping around half of the day for a plumber because somebody had told you 2 years ago that this gentleman did the plumbing for $25 and now somebody told you it was $300, girl, ladies and gents, pay the 300 and something and stop wasting time finding
Mm-hmm.
this guy for $25. I'm going to
Yes.
put it business wise now. So you heard that you can get an intern to do this for free. Did you find out if this specific kind of intern can work in your firm or is just suited to a retail business, or this intern was suited to a lawyer's office, or this intern was suited for a medical field? Now you get that information. You went and you find the intern. You brought the intern into your atmosphere, and you realize he or she doesn't know what the heck you're talking about. So now you've got time to train the intern. You could have just put out an ad for what exactly you wanted and find the right person to do the job. You're not astray over here. So the
Mm-hmm.
groundwork is you need to know what you want, what your
Ah.
person want and need, so that when you hear the things that is not for you, like it's for my husband but not me, so I'm not taking it in. it's for my kid, but it's not for me. If the kid is young enough and the input, the information is immediate for the situation, yes. But if they're not young enough, no, that's the end of the day. And I
Yeah.
have to know my kid because I want you to stop pretending about your children. If you have more than one of them, even if you have one, you know your child. You know your child, what advice they'll take, when they'll take it, what they want to hear, if they're old enough. Stop collecting and packing it for when you're going to tell them.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Let me give you some flashing news. You
Okay.
probably heard it already. You're not breaking ground with giving it to them. So storing it to regurgitate it to them was a waste of time.
And by the time you're ready to share it, it might not be relevant. Some information does is not evergreen.
Nope,
You
not
know, it's
evergreen. So this is the reason you hear it and only take it if it's for you. So if you're at the stage right now where you built all I talk about out for your coaching business and you don't need those things, why are you listening to somebody who's building websites? Why are you listening to sales funnel if you understand and you know how they're done? Your job
mhm.
is marketing and sales and making your program and your information so tight that when you get the client that you're looking for, you can deliver. You have things ready. You're not scrambling.
Mhm.
Sometimes people live in a scrambled world for so long that this is just part of them. It's just like living in a broke world. If you never had money and money come your way, you tend to let it fly away and be broke again because that's your comfort zone. Remember, I talk a lot about comfort zone, Terry, and that's what makes us go back there. If I
Mm.
talk to a client and they're like, yeah, I just need enough money for 3 months, I know that in 3 months they're going to be broke again because their
Mm.
focus, everything is about the 3 months, which I want them to do a year calendar. I want 6 months. I want 3 months. But I want us to reach these goalposts so that when they look back within a year, they can see, oh, at 90 days, I can do this. At 180 days, this is how powerful I can get. My God, 365 days. And there is the evidence. So the new year, when it comes around again, wherever that starts or ends for you, you're like, okay, so I can write a book. Okay, I can write an informational product. Okay, I can do whatever it is you're doing. I can do it. I once had
Mhm.
a hairdressing client, and I say to her, we talk about what her need was, and I said, this is the amount of money you need to make every single month, and this is what minimum per year you should earn gross. And then I
Mhm.
break it down to net. Did all that. Then I said, this is what you have to do 7 days a week for the first 3 to 4 months because of what she was doing. You needed that. She needed that. Like, you need to actually do the hairdressing only 4 days a week. I wanted her to because I wanted her to take the other 2 days and do some real intricate work on herself and the business. And then I
Mhm.
wanted her to take a full day and just rest. No work. I want her to rest, go to church, come back, have a meal, watch some TV, laugh about something, call a friend. And I don't want you to do any work because I want you to come back fresh on Monday.
Yes.
And eventually, the goal was to get her to only work 3 days a week or work on the business for the other three until she can do it for two and get somebody in there to be an assistant. And eventually, maybe two assistants and that sort of stuff. And the goal was to listen and do. But of course, she had so many other people in the air, she ended up losing the business. Let me just cut it short. She ended up losing the business. And it was such a thriving business that, Terry, it was such a thriving business. Like, it was the clientele is not what she probably wanted, but it's the clientele that she needed that can grow the business to where it needed to be. She had
Wow.
senior, it was a senior citizen, I would call it a salon, because it's mainly seniors. Here's the good news about seniors: they ain't going nowhere unless they die.
And they got money.
Most of them were nurses. When we start hammering home, she started realizing, we know the nurses. We didn't realize we had a professor in there. We had two doctors in there because they're quietly sitting. They're not telling you anything. They're waiting to know you first.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to help because they see a young girl starting up and they're like, oh, could be my granddaughter. Like they're just wanting to help her.
Yes.
She had so many noise in her ears. I remember when she had to close, she was just crying and say, Karen, why didn't I listen to you? Why? I said, sometimes it's not because you don't want to listen to me, it's because you don't believe you, so you couldn't believe me.
There you go. Now that is a mouthful. We don't have the confidence in ourselves because we haven't experienced it, or the things we've experienced have been so negative. We can't believe for good stuff.
Exactly. And so she spent a lot of time filling up her real estate with these things that she should be ignoring
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to get there. Guys, I want to tell you, the people that you see making money, not the fluffers, the real people who don't even tell you that they're making oodles of money, understand that a few people they can listen to get to where they want to be, just a
Mm-hmm.
handful.
Mm-hmm.
Too many cooks in the room will spoil the pot.
Say that.
This is why when I coach people, I say to them, you can't, if you're not wanting to listen to me, I can't coach you. Like you can't tell me you got 10 other coaches. We're going to clash.
Yes.
It's just a fact. We're going to clash because the things I'm going to ask you to do might feel so simple and might feel like, how is this going to help? And some things I'm honestly guiding you and I'm being guided to guide you. And you got to let the process happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know you want to know, but you got to let the process happen. This is part of getting you to where you need to be. When somebody say, I'm going to help you make $1 million, and they tell you everything, how to make it, you will be so overwhelmed that you wouldn't get up and make the $1 million. This is why we can't give you everything.
Mm-hmm.
It takes time. This
Wow.
information is to be listened to only if it's for you and use.
Oh my goodness. I love this topic, listening and ignoring. Um, Francine often says, eat the straw and spit out the sticks. You know, take what's for you,
Mhm.
not for everybody else.
No,
Maybe that wasn't for you.
no.
And I see people do this a lot when they are in situations where they're asked to volunteer. They think they're supposed to volunteer for everything. You're supposed to find that niche
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
speaks to you
Yes. Yeah.
and volunteer for that,
Yes.
and then get somewhere and do
So,
something else.
yeah, like I wouldn't volunteer for a sports team, and I've been asked when my kids were in sport. It's not my forte. Guess what I volunteer for? The library, teaching, helping,
Mm-hmm.
organizing, because that's where I live really well, and I'm good at it. So that's where I volunteer. And the school can have anything. The libraries, that's where I volunteer. And they ask me for something else. I said that's not in my wheelhouse.
There you go. I like that.
This is what I can do. Okay, Karen, we can do. Okay, I can help university student read a textbook and understand it. So comprehension. I can
Mm-hmm.
help single moms. I can help new immigrants who don't speak English, even if I don't know their language. As a woman, get hygiene, get themselves sorted out, and be able to look after that's the organization, their husbands, their children, and themselves, so that
Mm-hmm.
they don't put themselves last. I'm really good at these sort of things. That's where I shine. And the lady says, she says, thank you, I know where I'm putting you. Here you get 3 clients, these are your peeps. And then I
Yes.
went there every week and I look after the 3 clients.
There you go. Stay in our lane.
Yeah, I leave the rest. Karen, you can help with, no, these are my 3 clients. It's not because I don't want to help you, but that's not where I shine, and I don't want to let the clients down.
Because
So
people will put you wherever they have a gap,
uh-huh.
whether it's a fit for you or not.
Exactly. Exactly. So don't do it. So this is why we got to hear the stuff. And if it's not for us, And the other thing to evaluate when you have a business, you really need to know where you are. If you're at the beginning stages, that's what you
Mm-hmm.
want to look for. Don't go to the intermediate or the people who are the top. Not because you don't want to watch them and thrive to be there, but I really want you to know the foundational work is so important. That foundational work is all you need to be diving into. All the
Mm-hmm.
things that need to be done. And it's just about 3 to 7 of them that you really need to pay attention to. Not everything either, like whatever you're building. So if I was building my hair business at the time, I
Mm-hmm.
want to know all the best equipment to use. That's my tools. I want to know the best place to advertise, and I want to talk to the best people around town. I want to really test myself and see how many days a week I can work without burnout. Those are things I want to go through and doing. I want to know if I want to hire people eventually. So, that's something I think about. And I want to spend a lot of time reading about my industry and see
Mm-hmm.
if I just had this fancy or really love it. Somebody came to me once and told me that I want to build a really great cleaning company. And I said to them, I want you to go clean your house, put on a timer, and tell me how long it takes. When you're done, come back to me. We'll talk about if you like to clean. She goes, well, I'm hiring people. Why do I need to? I said, you will have empathy. You will understand if a worker came and say, my shoulder is hurting or my back is breaking because you haven't done it. So you don't know how to relate. Yeah, you can get a manager, but our manager is still going to look to you to help them help the people you just hired. So
Mm-hmm.
there is lawyers, doctors that I know that this is the profession and they decide to open a cleaning company, and all of them went and cleaned somebody's house, somebody restaurant, somebody floors, kneel down to understand the core. This is foundational work they're doing. When I tell people, I had a friend who said to me, aren't you ashamed of telling people that you clean people's house, Caren? You're well educated. I'm like, why would I be ashamed? I went to do the work that's going to grow my company. I
Not to
understand.
mention the fact we clean our own houses. But
Ah,
anyway,
just stupid. Listen, who you been listening to, girl? Go clean your house or something. Cause you can't pay for anybody to do it. Go clean your house. Go understand that you can put, like everybody tell you, put some baby oil and clean that stainless steel. You don't need to buy a stainless steel product. Well, over time, that baby oil is going to build up, collect a whole bunch of crap from around your kitchen, and you're in bigger trouble. Why you're listening to things that has nothing to do with you.
girl, that temporary shine, girl. Mm,
I tell you, I got some stories for you. So
I could
please.
imagine.
And so simply, what do you do with the info? What do you do with the info that you get?
Mm-hmm.
If it's for
Mm-hmm.
you, use it. And if it's not for you, let it go. Do not store it. Do not try to, in the next 2 years. Nope. Let it go.
Coach, I love this segment. I love the fact that hey, we're going to give people some change today, but the important thing is that hopefully people will change today.
Yes.
Give yourself permission to listen, and if it's not for you, to ignore it. And I want to just share one analogy that I think is relevant here. And Khalid says here, want respect, be the example, not the exception. Lead with integrity, not just instructions, and watch the world tip their hat in admiration. Well stated, Khalid. Thank
Yes.
you so much. Oh my gosh. Exactly. Exactly. So here's the deal. People can tell you everything about what their experience was. It may not be relevant. You don't have to take their advice.
No.
Give yourself permission, like Coach Karen said, to listen and ignore. This when you spoke to this today, I was really helped, and I hope others will be helped to
Thank
give
you.
themselves permission because, like when you've got a new baby or you're entering a new marriage,
Hmm.
and you come to people for everybody's got a war
Yes.
story,
Yes.
girl, that's
Yes.
gonna scare the scare
Yeah.
you. Boy, you better curate that feed.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. You want to really stay in that lane. You want to You don't want to ask too many people if you're a new mother. You'll be so confused.
Every,
Um,
yeah.
you be,
Everybody's got a different.
as you touch on that one, I used to be a consultant for mothers who had a hard time getting their babies to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So I call them, I used to call myself a baby companion, a baby night companion consultant.
Mm-hmm.
And it really and truly, I help mothers understand what they're feeling so that they don't transfer that to the baby. That's it in a nutshell, really. There's other things
Mm-hmm.
I did. And so they learn how to control what's happening within them. And you know,
Wow.
and so I would take a baby from a mom and just demonstrate. I said, right now you're worked up, you're frustrated. Go to the washroom, wash your face, get a glass of water. I'm here. I'm gonna sit with the baby for a while. You don't gotta do nothing. I'm just gonna sit with the baby. Yeah, I'll change the diaper, do whatever while you get yourself together. When you
Use the
do,
bathroom. Take a shower.
yes, I'll hand you back the baby. And now it's going to be like you just had the baby and it was just handed to you. You're excited. That's the only feeling I want you to transfer to the baby. That's it. And watch the baby stop crying, stop fussing, and you enjoying the baby.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Same with business, guys. If you fight up in your business, it's not because you mustn't do a lot of things and you don't have to be intentionally moving forward. But it's a different story than feeling nervous and afraid all the time. Your
Mm-hmm.
business can't move. I mean, you think it will be, but it's not moving because you're holding it back. You're holding everything back. You're holding everything hostage that could be. Yes, you might fail. Part of it
Mm-hmm.
is supposed to. It's a learning lesson. Yes, you might have done this thing wrong. You might have said the wrong thing. You might have addressed it. Yeah, write it down. But this is what I did. This is what happened, and this is how I corrected. This is how I felt. This is how I'm going to do it the other time around, because you're going to have several opportunities. No matter if it doesn't feel like that right now, you will. You know, I was broke for the last year. This new year, I'm not going to be broke. How am I going to change that? What do I want to see? And don't forget the little tiny bits that come in. Whatever you're doing, if somebody's paying you $50, it's $50 more than you had. $100 is more than you had. $20 is more than what you had. I know everybody's making 6, 7, 8, 100 figures, but you're not there. You're at the beginning, and the
And do
beginning might
not
be $20.
despise small beginnings. Don't
Take it
despise.
$20. $20 for 8 hours is how
Mm-hmm.
much, right? All
Mm-hmm.
right, it's $160. So don't throw it away. You might be able to do something in that time. Maybe not the whole $160, maybe $80 worth of something. That's
Mm.
$80. Standard. What you do with the $80 is more important than making $100. Like, it's really important because you're setting that pace. What do I do with my $80?
I tell you, wisdom just flows out of your mouth. It's not the making 160, it's what you do with the 80 that you got in your hand. What do you have in your hand? Well, Coach, we're gonna wrap this up, but I want people to know that if they are looking to set an appointment with you, that they can go to this particular website and book an appointment. I'm going to put this in the chat because I just feel like, somebody today needs to talk to Coach Caren. Oh my gosh. Here we go. And also, is this course still going on,
I'm,
Coach?
I'm holding it right now, so don't put it up because I'm doing
Okay.
some retweaking. Yeah, yeah. So
All
yeah,
right.
when
So,
when it's fresh, when it's back again, I'll yeah, give you the
okay.
link.
So right now, if you're looking to book an appointment with Coach Caren, you now have her link to do so. We just want to thank you, Coach. I'm telling you, we don't take anything else away. It's that we can listen and ignore,
Yes,
and the fact that, hey, everything is not for us to fix.
mm-mm.
So it's okay
It's okay.
not to be fixing other people's stuff.
Yeah, leave it for somebody else. You can't do
Please,
everything. It's okay. Yeah.
Exactly. Leave something for Jesus to do. As I tell my daughters. Okay, guys, we want to thank you for your time. Want to remind you that if you're looking to become a part of BizChicks, you can simply text Biz to 33777, or you can join us at our website over on
Net.
bizchicks.net. With that, we want to remind you it's okay to make money in your business.
Yes.
So go to the front of your own line. Have
Thank
a
you.
great day. And oh, thank you, Khalid. Khalid said this was great. Thank you. I'm so glad
Thank
you
you.
enjoyed it. Yeah, I think we need sometimes people to give us permission, to give ourselves permission to listen and ignore.
Mhm.
Have a great day. Thank you again, Coach.
You're welcome.
It's just such a blessing every time you show up. Have a great day, everyone.